Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your agent of Animated Awesome, which is good because today is Monday and that is Animated Series Day, Cartoon Series Day. And today we've got the next set of 5 episodes, which is actually the fifth version, fifth volume, if you will. Kimba, the White Lion. We are at episode 443. We are at 495 subscribers as of this recording. Only got 5 more to get to 500. Super exciting. Well, I'm excited, but it doesn't take much to get me super excited, apparently. But we have some great episodes today, and one that's really fun that we'll use the cartoon version for. But before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the subscription bell if you'd like to be notified of content every day. We'd really appreciate it. And if you could, please watch at least 4 or 5 minutes. Really help the algorithm, and I'd appreciate it a lot as well. So, having said all that, grab yourself a bowl of hummus of perfection, and let's get into the next 5 episodes of Kimba the White Lion. Who is the one that brought the jungle fame? Well, it is not Big O, the bad baboon in question, but titular bad baboon in question. As we come to find out, we get some flashbacks about Daniel Baboon, and this is his old nemesis. Well, he's come back for revenge to take over the jungle, and he's got an army of monkeys. Well, they have tails. I don't know. There's difference between monkey. There's an army of apes. It's almost like a battle for this of apes. It's a jungle of apes, but these are not baboons here. These are tailed monkeys. Somebody will know what they are. I don't, because monkeys. And they're out to attack. He's gonna challenge Daniel for supremacy. Boss Rhino's fighting or some random lion, and the monkey, the apes, the little apes, the lesser apes, just grab and tie him down. So they've learned how to use rope, which is a galu. Galu. That's what the higher humans did in Caprona trilogy from Edgar Rice Burroughs. Think The Land That Time Forgot, The People That Time Forgot, and Out of Time's Abyss. And they just march right over Boss Rhino. And also, you'll notice that Big O has a boomerang. I bet it doesn't work underwater, though. All right, Mr. Stork goes and tells Daniel what's going on, and they're the only two that remember, and Daniel's off to challenge Big O. So diddly, diddly, diddly. Flashback to the first time they challenge. We see a lot of baboon butt in this episode. Look at that, right there. Right there, baboon butt. And there's Daniel and Big O. Daniel's wiser and 10 years younger, so he's stronger and not as old. And he beats him. Baboon jump! And there's a fight. Off goes Big O. And this is before Caesar showed up, I guess. It's kind of vague, though, isn't it? I mean, really. The one who brought the jungle fame. See what I mean? Baboon butt. There's a reason. I think that is a challenge. You can look it up if you want to, but their hindquarters being red is a thing. So, and Kimbo's right behind him when he tells him what's going on. But he promises to stay out of it, but then Daniel gets beaten, but they think he was backup, and there's even Daniel and Kimba fight, but they get over it because Pauly blabbers. So Big O gives them an ultimatum. If you don't fight me, Daniel, I'm going to poison all the animals in the jungle. And our spy almost gets caught. But he tells Roger that he smells this horrible sulfur sound, and then Roger figures out what's going on. They've actually locked Daniel away, but he gets out and he's going to help. The moles are in several of the episodes, and they're like the minions of the jungle. They're very funny and very cute. They don't. No one ever tells them to settle down, though. Emergency meeting. There's the sulfur springs. Some Kimba goes to talk to Big O to try to fix things, but that fails. Fortunately, Daniel is smart and finds this grass that if you burn it will nullify this purple sulfur, deadly sulfur mist. As you can see, it's very evil looking. Here's our good guy. This is not the gas gang, though. So they're both, one of them's good and one of them's bad. Yes, I did work a Metal Men reference in there. I so wish I had a Metal Men cartoon to review. Hanna-Barbera, you fell down on that one. There's a big fight. Everyone pitches in to make the gas take, and it wins. Kimba breaks free and once again engorged hindquarters. That's kind of a spear though. Spear. Goldberg spear, not Edge's spear. But well, Paulie's tired and sheds, and now the cheetah still hasn't quite gotten over his desire to eat chicken, or at least poultry. But everyone's happy. Big O wants his minions to attack Kimba, and they're like, "He saved your life. He saved our life. You're done." And they're like, "Okay, but you can be friends, Big O," because of course, it's NBC and dubbing. And off he goes. One last baboon hindquarter. How about that? All right. Our next one is Dangerous Journey. Another good episode. The animals have come down with the speckled fever. Yeah, it's the Snowy Mountain speckled fever. And it's happened before. Daniel recognizes it. And Kimba goes off to talk to Pop Wooly, while Kimba and two mountain goats. Well, now Pop's the old one, so he knows how to cure people. He and Kimba are going to go up to Stony Mountain, not Snowy Mountain. They're being watched by jaguars. Kimba beats them all up at once. How come he couldn't handle monkeys with ropes? Off they go. There's some gorgeous scenes in here, just gorgeous. And sorry that the archive is kind of fuzzy. Again, some of the meat eaters have not quite grasped Kimba doesn't want you eating prey animals. Kimba can't climb up as well as Pop Wooly, so Pop Wooly goes on by himself. There's Stony Mountain, there's the tree, there's the, I guess, fungus of some kind. It's kind of not explained. And Kimba is roughed up. But off they go. They feed everybody. They're all back except Pop Wooly's now caught it. But Kimba and Daniel and these two are immune. So Pop thinks he's going to die. And it's like, okay, tells Kimba not to come near him. He doesn't want to get him sick, although he's probably past contagious at this point, and maybe Kimba sampled some of the herb. But he doesn't want anyone else because they'll get sick again, which really isn't how it works. So off Kimba is like, what am I going to do? And Caesar shows up. Well, the great Caesar's ghost shows up and says, are you going to let him die? Off he goes. The flying lizards chop down the little bridge. But Kimba still makes it, gets some more of the medicine, has to return. And we get a couple images of Caesar here. Bridge is gone, so he jumps down there and ends up in the water, which he should have just dove in, wouldn't have had to. And now he's got to fight the flying lizard queen. One-on-one, he beats them all up. Super Lion. There's Pop wondering where Kimba is. Is here. Chew it up real good and swallow it. It's like he's talking to a 5-year-old. Oh man, the dubbing is just. I mean, it's great dubbing, and they did the best they could with, transliterating it and turning it in, localizing it. I hate that term, and making it and successful here in the States. So, I mean, this is, the first color anime that was brought over here and shown on television. So everyone's happy. Pop is healthy, and off we go. They're like, goodbye, and he's looking over his kingdom. All right, now we're at the gigantic grasshopper. And this is the one we're going to. Okay, so we are going to be watching a little bit of this. I'm going to try to do it a little faster than last week because that just went on a little too long. But it's the gigantic grasshopper, which is kind of anticlimactic overall, but still better than the the world ended. No, whatever one that Peter Graves.
Nighttime in Kimba's kingdom. Nighttime under a new moon.
It's a new moon on Monday. Haha. Laura will never hear that, but there's a Duran Duran reference. You better believe it. So let me see here. What are we starting at? It is kind of spooky here, and well,
Singing their serenade to the night.
the owls are. Alakai, Alico, Alakazam. But it's the jungle. I'm sure the jungle could be terrifying at night. So this goes on for a while. It's a pleasant enough little song, and they don't even translate it. It's just owl language because they'll say that at the end of the episode. Who knows what owl they're singing? Well, those of us that studied a little bit of Japanese might.
I better warn everybody. We gotta get out. Wake up, everybody.
Unfortunately, nobody else feels the earthquake but Daniel, and they all think he's crazy. They're probably not wrong.
Where's what?
Earthquake, that's what.
Earthquake?
Why, sure. Don't tell me you didn't feel it. You must sleep like a log, Kimba.
I've been awake about 2 hours.
Then you must know what I'm talking to you about.
Nope, he doesn't. So he's a little upset, but then he feels bad. And well, maybe I dreamt through it. Oh, look. Now, once again,
Wait a minute.
baboon
It's
hindquarter.
been peculiar ever since that strange thing fell out of the sky.
Uh-oh.
Crash.
Another flashback only to a couple days ago.
It was
Let's see. Where do I have this going to?
Help! Let's go!
It's a flying saucer or something. They don't ever say what it is. But it falls out of the sky and into the ground and buries itself. So it fell pretty hard.
Oh, what a gigantic flower! Oh, this must really be the work of the devil. I better tell Roger Ranger about this.
Hello!
They finally realize they should talk to a human and see what's going on. They are just animals. Is this where I want to be? I think so. Let's go with this.
It's crying!
What?
Listen!
That's an evil looking mountain. This is a pretty intense episode, all things considered. It's a good thing Pauly Cracker's around. I don't know that it's crying, though, Bucky. Stop being a moron. Uh-oh.
Oh, grasshoppers!
They're getting out of the cave. The grasshoppers will ruin our farm.
Let's get help!
Come back and help me block this hole!
Yeah, at least Kimba's got a brain. There's Roger, having a bath.
Had too many grasshoppers. What's the problem now?
The leopard and the cheetah are eating them.
I guess there's nothing wrong with that as long as they enjoy them.
That's what I thought at first. I figured it was better for the meat-eating animals to eat grasshoppers rather than other animals, but they're stuffing themselves.
He ain't kidding either, as we'll find out here in a moment. But There they are, stuffed. I mean, I don't know what cat that is, but they're very happy and very full, very, very full. Now, I do know that cats will, I mean, we all know if you have a cat, you know that they will eat just about any bug that they see. I, really, I don't know about grasshoppers, but they eat spiders, and spiders aren't even, insects.
Must have been something. I better see for myself.
Probably shouldn't do that, Kimba.
If I could see anything in here.
But can he? Uh oh.
Stay back, you monster! Oh.
There are some scary episodes of Kimba. Look at that thing. It's not like a king or anything. Sounds a little weird. I want to call it Click Clack, but yeah, I can get a Commandy reference in here as well. But Click Clack was a really intelligent being and wouldn't have tried to eat its friends. Look, the
I'm
moles.
afraid that would have been the last of Kimba.
If there's a job to be done, we moles dig right in.
The radioactivity that produced the plant must be responsible. But being so big, he must have a big appetite. He'll probably finish off all the other grasshoppers.
Cannibalism runs rampant in the animal world if need be, so that doesn't surprise me if he would or not. More discussion, blah, 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 blah. And now Kimba wants to get the other meat eaters to fight the thing. But unfortunately, they're in no condition. Not quite a baboon's butt, but there's a leopard butt or a cheetah butt. But take your pick. All right. So this goes on for quite a while. Bing, oh, oh. They're trying to trap them, but let's see here. And they just can't figure it out because that bug is just too big. Oh, here we go. There's a lot of them.
Maybe that means more grasshoppers.
Good thing that leopards can levitate. Yeah, it's a gigantic. I would think that would be pretty darn scary to see something bigger than you when you're an apex predator and it's bigger than you. All right, let's see. We're just gonna scoop along here. Kimba gets angry face on. So, and he actually fights the grasshopper for a minute. It's a strange sound the grasshopper makes. Definitely part elephant, if you're gonna ask me. And that's kind of there it is out in the daylight. Kimba's lying defeated. But you'll see this.
He's been blinded by the sun. Now's my chance.
He was blinded by the light. I wonder if he was revved up like a deuce. Yes, I'm saying the words correctly, so no one, and slowly, so no one thinks that I'm saying what the words everyone thinks they hear. Revved up like a deuce. Uh oh. It's headed toward an active volcano. There's a lot of active volcanoes in Kimba's kingdom, isn't there? And guess what happens? Because he's got fried bug.
I just had to.
Congratulations, Kimba. Why do you feel so bad, Kimba?
Because I had to destroy that gigantic grasshopper. I don't like to destroy any living thing, Roger Ranger.
What you did was right, Kimba. He was a freak of nature, grown to such gigantic size because of an accident. You did what had to be done.
And he did. I mean, really. That animal would never have survived, or if it had, We're going to ignore the cube square law here simply because
Maybe keep food that makes them more delicious. Huh? What is it? Grasshopper eggs. We had so many of them, we decided to store them underground, and they came out like jelly beans. Want to try them?
jelly beans are gross. Sorry, yeah, I said it.
They're good. We could bury enough to last for years.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the moles should have had their own. They could have been their own show, really. I mean, but let's get right over here. We're about done. Just a couple. Where are they going to remember where these are? Look at those sharp claws Kimba has. Yep.
Kimba seems kind of sad and thoughtful tonight. His friends, the owls, wonder if he's thinking of anyone in particular and ask, who could it be? Yes, who indeed? Just between you and me, I think I know. And they're probably singing about it. But then, who can understand our language?
So, who indeed can understand owl language? I swear Peter Fernandez was writing this. Yeah, I just like the way it looks. That gives you a kind of a view of how big the grasshopper was. All right, now we're on to episode 24, Gypsy's Purple Potion, which involves another plot by Claw, of course. The good animals of the jungle are making a shrine for Caesar to, you know, to honor him. It's not a shrine, but it's a big old building. Tom and Tab are spying, and then they get chased away. Cassius tells Claw, next thing they'll do, they'll make a monument to Kimba, and can't have that. Claw's a jerk. But there's old Gypsy the Owl here who is going to help him out with a purple potion, because hence Gypsy's purple potion. Cassius blackmails her, and then she goes and pretends she's hurt. Kimba takes her back and then gives him this thing, which is not really a potion, it's a pill, but probably even in 1966. Incidentally, if you want to know, these 5 episodes in Japan ran from February 23rd, 1966 to March 23rd, 1966. So there you go. But by then they probably didn't want kids eating pills, so it's a potion. Kimba eats it and goes mental. Claw shows up at the shrine, and they bring in the purple Kimba, who's in a coma, so he can't do anything. And the animals attack him. I mean, they are like, no, we're not doing this. Think about how when Superman beat Thor in Avengers JLA, and and the rest of the powerful Avengers just beat his ass down. They tried this, and both Claw and Cassius beat the rest of them up. There they are. Tim and Tab don't help because they're chickens. Daniel brings Kimba back and sets him on Caesar's hide, which touches Gypsy's old, wrinkled, encrusted heart, and she reforms right then and there. So she, being probably way smarter than most of the other animals, and especially these two, tricks them and gives them the cure, and they put it in Kimba, and then they sing their song, and Kimba, he's got the cat pounce ready to go. I mean, if he'd had a butt wiggle, I'd have shown that because that would be hilarious. And then beats up Tim and Tab. But Cassius has a plan, and he's got a man traps that he just throws at him somehow. These animals are really smart. And Kimba ends up in Claw's jail with Gypsy. And then she's asked for, they make friends. And there's another volcano with hot water, and Kimba digs his way through because Super Lion. He lets the Tom and Tab headbutt each other, and then he headbutts Cassius, and beats the stuffing out of Claw, even though 4,200 other animals couldn't. And they all wash away in the hot water. And Kimba looks, see, there they go, looks at the audience and says, "It's about time those characters got their act cleaned up," which that made me laugh. He doesn't want to be up there, but Gypsy says you can see his little burned foot or his injured foot. He says, "Okay," because they love his dad and they love him, and it's a nice touch. And our final episode is Too Many Elephants, which I like elephants just fine, I guess. They're very territorial. They will stomp you if they think you're a threat. I mean, it's amazing to me that they're like less dangerous than hippos, considering hippos, well, you just don't mess with the big animals that weigh 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 times more than you. I'm assuming that brontosaurs, sauropods would, and especially probably the ceratopsians, were very territorial. And if you've gotten their territory, can I say something with territory again? Well, and there we see Mr. Mustache, or Mr. Pompous as he's called. I think his Japanese name is Mr. Mustache. And that's what I always call him, but he's called Mr. Pompous here. He's Roger's uncle. And there's Tim and Tab. Apparently haven't learned their lesson. Guess who comes to the rescue? Beats the stuffing out of him again and brings Mr. Uncle Pompous there, who seems to forget that he knows Kimba. Go figure. But he wants Roger to go back to civilization. But bingo, bango, bongo, I don't want to leave the jungle. Oh, no, 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 no. But he also tells him that the game reserve is about to cull a herd of elephants. And Kimba goes and investigates and sees all this fun stuff here, and then meets Big Pecky Pachydermis, who's a jerk. That's what I was going to say. The aim of our patrol is a question rather droll. I wanted to get a Jungle Book song in here. He tries to kill Kimba. Fortunately, Pee-wee helps him out. And there's a running gag with everyone there in their cars taking pictures of every animal. But then Kimba spies Tonga and her father. I don't remember that, but I doubt that's really her father. So off he goes to spy on them, and they're going to kill the elephants because Packer is a jerk, and apparently that spread through the elephant community. See what I mean by the running gag? Kimber tries to reason with him and tell him what's going on, and denied. So Jumbo the baby elephant is one of the other names. Kozo Jumbo, which Jumbo is, so it's probably closer, but Too Many Elephants is our name. Kimba gets thrown into the water twice. Uncle Pompous pours on the waterworks to get Roger to agree to leave with them, and he does. Kimba rounds on little Pee-wee for just because he thinks he's tired of elephants and their attitude. I just like this shot. And they go to, then Roger and Uncle Pompous are going to rescue Kimba or find out what's going on. I don't know what these words are, what language they're in. But they've herded the elephants into a box canyon. And you know what that means. And they've got tanks as well as missiles. Who pays for all this stuff? But Kimba's too late. Literally too late. They don't show the elephants getting killed, but they let you know that they've killed all the elephants except there's Mama, and Pee-wee is safe. And Tonga and her father are trying to shoot the last remaining elephant, and Kimba tricks them into crashing, but fortunately they bail out. And Kimba says, "Oh, I've licked the helicopter," which probably is kind of gross. Mama and baby are reunited, but all of the other elephants in this game preserve are dead. Now what did that do with the rest of the? I mean, it's going to throw off the biological prospects here. I know it's a cartoon; you can't think too much about it. Uncle Pompous decides that Roger should stay because these animals need him and he needs him. Look at the little ones here. Dot and Dash are the two younger cheetahs, I think. And that is it. Kimba the White Lion is the name. So there's our animated Monday. And, oh, I don't want to do that one. I want to do this one because, yeah, we'll just have Kimba, the theme song, play us out. But until, this is X7, and until our next assignment, wait, I'm signing off until our next assignment. So, I'll be seeing you. When we get in trouble and we're in a fight, who's the one who just won't turn and run? Who believes in doing good and doing right? Kimba the White Lion is the one.